Mike, I think your voice is not there, but welcome to the Big Idea podcast today. Um, we're very excited that we have a special guest, Jason Klingensmith, or JK, from TriPack. That's Triple Auto Protection. How am I saying it, Jason? It's
Triple Protection Auto Care.
Triple Protection Auto Care.
Yep.
Um, I'm very excited as I just joined up with this group, and I'm looking forward to Jason sharing a little bit of his background, and then we can dive into some of the innovative F&I products that they're bringing to market that really help dealers market all of their F&I products. So without further delay, Jason, welcome to the show. If you can give us a little bit of background to how you got to where you are, and then we can dive into some of the products.
Yeah, sounds great. Thank you for having me, Gary, Mike, Larry, everybody. Really appreciate it.
Welcome.
Great to have you.
Yeah, so Triple Protection Auto Care. Our history, my personal history and TriPack's history really intertwined. So I'll kind of give it to you all in one. In 2002, TriPack was born, and it was TriPack. So it was oil changes, tire rotations, and rental cars as prepaid maintenance. And Triple Protection Auto Care is an administrator. We are a product provider for dealers. And it was born in 2002 with just prepaid maintenance. The vision was an online platform where dealers could go online and remit, transmit contracts, and even make claims without having to talk to a human. And I don't know about if everybody was in the game in 2002, but a lot of dealers didn't even have their inventory online in 2002. So it was a big deal, right?
Yeah.
Fast forward a little bit, TriPack adopted virtually all products, including ancillaries, bundles. It really got to be known that we would build products for dealers, customized products, bundles, private labeled, and we would provide all the tools necessary for our agents. We're very agent focused. We prefer there be an agent involved in all of our dealer relationships. And where we kind of stand out today is we have innovative products that are different, they're fresh, they're new, that have found new revenue for dealers. So that's a little bit about TriPack. If you fast forward to about 2013 or so, I was working in a dealer as an F&I manager around this time, a large dealer group here in Colorado, Champ Automotive. And I started with them in 2005. I started out as a technician. I was a master technician for 2 OEMs. I moved into finance, ultimately management, executive management, so on and so forth. So the dealer group decided at that time they wanted to do a one person, one price, 1 hour sales model where the salesperson would take the customer, cradle to grave. And there was no real sales process written, nor was there software to support this process. Kind of an Apple Genius process is what the vision was then. So I was tasked to help write the sales process with a couple other gentlemen in the organization. And TriPack was the product provider for the Champ group at that time. So our owner and the dealer owner got together and decided they were going to build a platform to help support this sales process. And my role at that time was to write the sales process and to work very closely with the developers to build this software. Well, you fast forward a little bit further, and it's working, it's operating, and we're getting noticed around the country on what we're doing differently inside the stores. And we were getting asked, can I use it from other dealers? So we made the decision to take it to market, set up its own vertical. Around that time is when COVID hit. So, right, everything got real weird. They pulled me out of the stores, and brought on a gentleman by the name of Chip Perry, which we probably all know who that name is. Founded Auto Trader, ex CEO of TrueCar, and me and him were brought on to the company known as A to Z Sync today to help build and scale that up. At that time, TriPack was bought out, so it was 100% dealer owned at that time. And ultimately, we were being secretly shopped by a company who wanted to sell cars online, and that was Amazon. And Amazon was looking on to how to sell cars online. So today, you can buy brand new Hyundais, Fords, used cars through Amazon, and the software that enables Amazon to do so, to sell those cars online, was built by us, TriPack. The dealer owns that platform today, and everything's on good terms. But we were the ones that built that platform for Amazon. I stayed on for a couple more years to help with the Amazon transition, but ultimately that relationship came to fruition. And TriPack called me and said, "Hey, I got new products. I need help scaling them up, and we don't know anybody else to do it." So I left A to Z Sync and came here, and some of those products are the ones that we're going to be talking about today. So that's kind of me and TriPack in a nutshell.
Thank you. That's awesome. Question: Were
Yeah.
you involved with putting that into Paragon?
I was.
So you worked with Brian Benstock, and that's when they adopted the hour or the A to Z program, that they wanted to do the whole transaction from the beginning, cradle to grave, including now F&I.
That's correct. I worked closely with Marat and Rachel and Brian, and we were on a 3 to 4 week rotation. So we had representation in that store every week, but I was out there every 3 weeks.
Very cool. Very cool. Larry, what's your buddy that's A to Z right now? He comes on the show. Chris Reeve. No, I'm not saying it.
Doug
No,
Reeves?
Doug Reeves. Doug Reeves.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Doug is the current rep for them today.
Yep, I worked with Doug over there for a long time.
Great
Very
guy.
Cool. Very cool. Excellent. Hey, thank you. That was wonderful. Thank you for bringing us along with that.
Of course.
So now I really like a lot of the stuff that you've built. So if you could spend a little time talking about the different products that you're bringing, because I see it as very exciting that you have built things that everybody is moving into the stream, and they need help and support. So,
Not to mention, Gary, that he's excited by the fact that after working with a small company like Amazon, he gets to hang around with Mike and me and you.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, it was sitting in those first meetings with Amazon, and then they're just not car people, right? And that was one of the reasons they chose us, is because we're not Silicon Valley people. We're car people with the software. And I'll never forget it. The question that was asked, and they said, "So if a customer buys a car online and they want to return it, do we give you guys like a 15% restocking fee or something like that?" And me and the owner of Champ looked at each other like, "Yeah, that'd be great."
Sure.
Sure.
We'll
Yeah.
take that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Jason, from what I've seen around the country, there's a lot of guys that have dealerships that also aren't car guys right now.
Yes, sir.
We've got COVID, post-COVID disease. Now what do we do?
Yeah, there's a trend there, isn't it? Yeah.
Sad one.
Well, I mean, we've made it through some of the worst of the worst. We'll probably make it through this one.
We absolutely will. It's the old Jerry Butler song, "Only the strong survive."
Yeah. That is
Those
true.
that can adapt, Darwin's law, right?
Yeah. They'll
Survival
probably just get
of the
bought
fittest.
out by AutoNation or something anyways.
Well, that's always stunned me, because these bigger companies you would think would be more powerful and more organized, but the dysfunction in a lot of these giant companies is scary. The amount of lack of communication, the fact that it takes much longer to turn around a big ship than a small rowboat. But I think that's always a problem with any big company. It just seems endemic in our industry, unless you got a guy like Roger Penske, who's really a car guy and a people guy and understands how to run a business.
Yeah, agreed. Well,
So Jason, I got a question for you.
shoot.
From a consumer standpoint or point of view, do they have to, or can they get your products through the dealership alone, or are you strictly B2B or B2C?
Yeah, good question. So, 95% of our products are B2B for the dealer. One of our products, and that's the first product I'll talk about, is Honest. It's pronounced like I'm going to be honest with you, but it's spelled ONUST. It's a play on words, on us with a T, honest. And Honest was purpose built to right all the wrongs of CarShield, Endurance, CarChecks, Toco. There's so many to name on the consumer direct extended warranties, right? And they all kind of have a little bit of a bad name, like the auto industry does somewhat in general, right? And CarShield 2 years ago got smacked with a $10 million FTC fine for misrepresentation, the choice of words that were used, and yet people still buy contracts from them, 20,000 a month to be exact, which is insane, right? Honest was built to give the consumer what they expect when they pay for something like that. So it's a VSC subscription. So consumers come to us directly based on their vehicle age and miles. Their car qualifies or it doesn't qualify. They pay an activation fee, and then they have a monthly reoccurring payment. And it's like Netflix. They pay, they're covered. If they don't pay, they're not covered. And there's a $0 deductible. It's the most exclusionary coverage I've ever come across. I mean, it covers belts, hoses, and even wiper inserts. So it's very robust coverage. There's not a good, better, best. It's just one level of coverage to have absolute clarity for customers. So that's our consumer direct. Now, Honest does have a dealer model, which we refer to it as Honest Dealer Solutions. And we basically plug into the dealer's DMS and we market to their customers as them, for them. And we market to customers in very different situations. For example, if they paid for a large repair and service, we market to them basically saying, that hurt. Here's a way where you don't have to do that again. Or if they bought a service contract and it expired, we'll market to them as well as the dealer. Then as customers engage with this marketing, they get referred to us by the dealer. And then as they sign up, we rev share with the dealer with reoccurring, fully earned compound revenue.
And
That's
and that
Honest.
and that's so nice and easy. It's a QR code
Yep.
that the consumer can scan a simple QR code and they get right to their platform. And one of the things that I see today is, unfortunately, we got so many customers that are upside down in their cars that when a customer is upside down, this would be at least something the dealer can offer to their customers and say, hey, while you're trying to get out of this, equitable or non-equitable position, don't get yourself in a deeper problem by having something major go wrong with your car. And now you got two problems, so that's the program is very easy and seamless. So they've done a wonderful job with that. So I really like it a lot.
Yeah.
Can you talk briefly about the new little bonus structure that you did?
Yep. So for agents or even resellers, we refer to resellers as our dealers or even repair facilities that refer people to us. We have the new 50 for 50 program. So our existing members or our existing agents when they refer somebody to us and they stay for 32 days, the person who referred them gets $50 and the person who got referred gets $50. And if you're an agent, not only do you get that commission, but you get the reoccurring revenue rev share that comes when they make their payment every month. But just as a consumer or as a dealer, you can set it up to where you get that 50 for 50 program.
But we've never been able to see a very successful service drive program. And what they've done is now let the service advisors be engaged. And, now, as opposed to years ago where it would be, hey, just bring them to the F&I guy. And then they would bring them to the F&I guy, and the F&I guy would either blow the customer off or sell a contract. And it would be, where's my money?
Right.
And this solves that very easily also.
And it's not their fault. The F&I manager's busy, the service advisor's busy. It's a bit of a workflow disruption to quote a service contract on the service drive. So whether the service advisor can refer to a QR code on a sign or the customer is going to get directly marketed to by us from the dealer, we take it off the dealer. The dealer does nothing. Aside from signing the contract and collecting a check, we handle everything else. All the marketing, credit card handling, membership management, all of it. We do all of it.
That's awesome.
Yep. So that's Honest. That program was consumer direct when I arrived. And today we are in the Honest Dealer Solutions. Now we work with dealers with it. So that's new. The next product I'll talk to you about is, we refer to it as the affordable option, and it's a service contract. And if there's agents here listening, or we've been in that position, how hard is it to walk into a dealership that you don't have a relationship with and say, hey, will you sell my service contract? It's impossible, right?
Every day.
It's hard. Even if they give you the time of day, there's so many things on the reasons why they won't go with yours, right? Reinsurance, relationships already made, right? There's so many things. So the affordable option was built to where, what could we give our agents to walk in there with something fresh, new, that the dealer does not have, that would bring true value to the dealer. So the affordable option service contract was built around, how do we raise our warranty penetration, right? Dealers are never happy with their warranty penetration. So the affordable option is built around affordability. So it's an affordable coverage. In addition to, it has flexibility to it. It has an a la carte software platform built into it. So the F&I manager takes a swing at the primary contract, JM&A, Zurich, CNA, whatever the primary contract is. And if the customer objects, whether it's price or product, F&I manager has an opportunity to take a second swing with our affordable option. They present to where they can have powertrain, maybe plus electrical, powertrain plus AC, and allows them to build and customize their own service contract to appease their budget or what they're looking for coverage. In turn, this gives the dealer that many more options to try and get something rather than taking the zero and moving on. This process utilizes AI to help validate the need for a service contract. So it researches the vehicle that the customer is purchasing. We research historic common failures of that vehicle to help validate that a torque converter fails at a high probability on this vehicle. You may want to cover just that part or where that part is covered in that subsystem. So it's really about flexibility, creating affordability. Banks aren't giving as much money as they used to for service contracts. And so far, consistently, the affordable option will raise the dealer's warranty penetration by 10 to 12%.
Which is good for the dealer as well as the consumer. It's a true win-win.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the software that comes with the affordable option, a menu, if you will, comes free. We don't charge for it. If you're selling that contract, you get the platform for free.
Awesome. Thank you.
So those are our two products. Both those products, Honest and Affordable Option, really play in one space, and it's when the customer says no, right? The customer said no in F&I, we're going to market to them with Honest. The customer saying no to that primary contract, the F&I manager is going to offer Affordable Option, right? Side note, our independent dealers love the affordable option because they get the technology and a platform to present off of, right?
Yeah.
They absolutely love it. And we cover things that normal independent service contracts don't do. Like we'll cover pre-existing. There's no overheating exclusions, no waiting periods. So really great contract for your independent dealers.
Awesome.
So they play in the no when the customer says no, right? So switching gears pretty hard. We've all heard of the CARS Act, right? Coming October 1st, California, the FTC's cramming down on dealers about etch and disclosure, and is it an actual value product? Well, I can tell you that we saw this coming miles away, and we have a product that fixes all these problems that are coming down the line for dealers. And it's called Blue Signal. And we'd like to say that we took the sketch out of etch. So as we all know what etch is, right? The labeling system with a theft benefit. You label the doors, the trunk, the hood of these labels. And it's somewhat preventative, but the challenge is dealers don't always put the stickers on. And they sell this benefit for $400, $500, $600, and sometimes the customer doesn't even know they have it, right? And that's what the FTC is all upset about. So what Blue Signal is, it is a device that looks like a sticker, and it is easily installed. There's no wires, there's no OBD, nothing. It is the size of a credit card, very thin, size of a credit card. The install takes less than 5 seconds. We have a scanner. You scan the device, you scan the VIN barcode, and then you install the sticker in various different places that we recommend. And then you're done. It is a theft recovery intelligent device. It utilizes Bluetooth and the Internet of Things to locate the vehicle. There's a theft benefit for the customer, a 1 year and a 3 year. The 1 year has a $1,500 theft benefit, and the 3 year has a $5,000 theft benefit. And we are the only company, to my knowledge, in the industry that offers a recovery benefit. And that's if the vehicle is stolen and recovered, we'll pay up to $300 for towing, storage, and impound fees.
Well, and that's huge, because for years, etch and labels, the car had to be stolen. The car was not recovered. The consumer had to go through their insurance company, and then the customer needed to supply police reports, all of this stuff. And we've known that the claims on etch is very, very low. So that also has to be on the eyes of the regulators. And even in Connecticut, it's been the wild, wild west for many years. And Connecticut came out a couple years ago and said, do not preload etch on the windows. It's a deceptive program. So every dealer went out in Connecticut and they said, well, we're not etching the windows anymore. We're going to do labels. Well, it's no different, whether you etch the car or put labels on them. You're not supposed to put things on and then, you know, kind of over where the customer didn't know that they had it. And so the way that you've built your system is clearly a process that's credible, and then you're getting the car back. You don't want to wait for the car to get stolen and impounded and beat up. So where now you can activate it, and all the police and everybody can get that vehicle back. So you're not going through all of that extra hassle.
Correct.
So
We integrate with our partners that have integration into all the different police municipalities as far as stolen vehicles. So it's not just the call comes over the radio, stolen car. There's an app now that police officers have on their phones and their desktops inside the cars that alert them of stolen cars with this technology. So chances are the cop is going to know that the car is stolen from us before that 911 call even gets dispatched to him.
Very cool. Very cool. Wow. Jason, you took a nice chunk of the time, and you did an excellent job explaining all of those products.
Good.
I've been posting along with this podcast a lot of the videos that you've done, and you guys have done a really great job where the videos can be shared, and it explains the products very, very easy. And so you guys are cutting edge, and boy, I love it. So the technology that you're bringing, and the solutions, you know, it's not the, you know, the big boxes are still fixated on the reinsurance and the gap and all of that. You fill the voids, and you give the extra swings that are professional and credible.
Yeah,
So
we like to think so, and like I said, and like you said too, we try and give our agents all the tools and all the dealers to find revenue and to refine it. So our product videos, I can't take any credit for that. That's our marketing director, Dwayne, and our marketing team that put all those together. But at tripack.net, we have a full video library of every product we have to offer, and
Yeah.
you know, your standard stuff as well, right?
Sure. Well, I'm thrilled to be able to bring your product to market. And for anybody watching, Jason's very accessible. And anytime you want to set up some demos to talk and go over everything, you can reach out to me, and we'll schedule that. So thank you very much, Jason, for coming on and spending some time. Larry, Mike, you got any final thoughts? Any questions?
I'll probably reach out to you too, Jason. I think your product is extremely useful and needed at this point. So we can definitely talk more.
Absolutely.
Good job, Jason. Awesome stuff.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, guys.
And maybe we'll have you back in a few months. You can tell us how you're progressing.
We
Happy
love that.
to.
Love that.
Happy to.
Yeah.
Everybody stay healthy, and thank you so much. And Jason, thank you so much for joining us today.
Have a great weekend,
Absolutely, guys.
everybody.
Yes.
Have a
Appreciate
good
your time.
weekend. Love you guys.
Thank you, guys.